All right. Well, I'm recording this one live at 6 in the morning. What I found out, I guess, last night, some big WWE news had officially capped off. They were doing the WWE Backstage. You have Renee Young in the ring. You had Samoa Joe, Booker T, Adam Cole, and Paige there. For the most part, Renee Young said, "We have a big surprise for you guys" at the very end of the show. And I hadn't seen too much of WWE Backstage. I must have been seeing like the recaps on YouTube. I think it's like Fox and WWE or WWE and Fox, like their YouTube channel or something like that. And that's where I've been seeing most of the recaps. They're mostly like the promo school stuff with like Christian, I think it was. I think Booker T was one of the people also cutting some promos. So at the very end, she says, we have a surprise for everybody," and they genuinely look surprised. So I don't know if they, got Punk in there without anybody else noticing, or tell them to act surprised, or what. I truly believe maybe it was a surprise in that regard. But yeah, out comes Cult of Personality. Mr. CM Punk shows up, and I was like, what? So I woke up, I checked my phone. First thing I see, just blowing up, checking messages, seeing notifications, is that CM Punk has returned. Maybe not to say to the WWE, but be at least a part of WWE Backstage, and be a part, I guess, of a Fox contract there, which I guess would give him more leeway of stuff to do. And I think that is just it's insane. It's a very very long time coming. 5 years, everybody, and I don't know what to make of that. Now it's such a pinnacle point of professional wrestling where there's so many alternatives. Of course, you can be a fan of everything. You can be a fan of one thing, but it's so hard not to be a fan and just see everything out there right now. Whether it's WWE or AEW or New Japan or Impact or some of the lucha stuff, it's a very insane time to be a fan. And as we are like heading to a close in 2019, CM Punk is back, and I don't know. Like, I don't know about you guys. I think that's just insane to say. Just randomly, what is it like? November what was it, November 12th, 2019. Will go down in history as the day that he returns. Not I think what matters more is when we actually see him in the WWE like ring, have a confrontation or kind of promo or something. But the words very much stick, and I can remember exactly what he said. He came out. He said, "Just when you think you have the questions, I change the culture," which is a bit of a weird saying, honestly, to say the least. Yep, cult of personality, and yeah, you can see I'm awake now. I was gonna head back to bed. That's probably not gonna happen here though, everybody. So let me give some thoughts and breakdown of this whole Punk deal, and what I think will probably happen with it. So if he's with WWE Backstage, it will be interesting to see like what stuff he comments on. Very much so. Top thing that comes to mind, of course, you got Survivor Series. You got the big Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT. It would definitely be cool to see him be at the forefront of promoting NXT talent. I think that'd be one heck of a way to get them over. Yeah, so I've had this T-shirt. This is actually one of my favorite T-shirts. I actually ripped it um, like 2 years ago, and I was really sad because they don't make these anymore. Clearly, this is a WWE shop. Authentic, has the little logo on the bottom. It's I don't really remember. Yeah, it's got the thing on the back. I don't even know if you guys can kind of see it. Like Best Since Day One or something. I have like all the Punk T-shirts, but I think this is one of the more like favorite designs with him. The fist holding arrows. But what was I going on about? Um, yeah, promoting like NXT talent. I think that'd be really beneficial for them, for the most part. I would love to see him comment on the Rusev and Lana story. It makes me wonder, like, if he's related to Fox, and not WWE, so to say, will he just have full reign to just go at it and say like how we all feel, how like and where he thinks it'll end, um, with Lana being pregnant and everything. Pregnant, who knows? But and then like what could he say? What do we do? Will we have? I think, of course, next week, without a doubt, will probably be the most viewed episode of all time for WWE Backstage. Um, it will probably be very hard to, if not this week, definitely next week will. Um, let's see. Gotta pump up the chat there. Went by too quickly. Live chat. All messages are visible. I don't know if Kevin Owens' return was worth it. So they've been having like the promo school stuff with WWE Backstage. Of course, you had Christian, Booker T. I'm trying to think of who else there was. Um, I if we get a Punk one, I don't think we would a Punk one next week. It'd be cool if we did, but I think they should like hold off for that one. I think that'd be a very special episode. Have them go out there like with another wrestler and go like back at it. That'd be a cool little thing to feature. But given like his reactions back and forth, it's very funny too because you have right around the time of like Thanksgiving was when he had that big um, podcast with Colt Cabana on the art of wrestling. And here we are, 5 years later, heading into Thanksgiving, and he makes his return. So there's something about Thanksgiving returns and debuts in professional wrestling, everybody, that just things get very crazy. And who really knows where this will go? If it just sticks to WWE Backstage, I think that will, kind of stink a little bit. It's also another question to bring up of like, is this too late to see? I don't even know if we'll ever say it'll be too late to see a CM Punk in ring return. I know like seeing him as like a general manager, people probably would be into, but I think it's like the in ring aspect of like the aurora of having him there, and I think everybody still wants him to have like it's crazy to think that everyone still wants him to have his dream fulfilled and to like Punk's always said, in his eyes, succeed in his dreams. And even though he said he failed, I think everyone wants him to succeed and have that WrestleMania moment. Even given that he's literally, you know, changed the culture and made a subculture. I like to think that Punk is very much a reason why there are alternatives, such as AEW. Like, is we could say that the Bucks and Kenny and Jericho coming in, and people like Moxley getting frustrated, building up, very much so to the success of AEW. I think their pure talent to hold that is wonderful and is a key reason. But I like to think that it's the culture of CM Punk, of like that generation. That's kind of what brought me back as a fan, because as a kid there was like that little bit of just like gray area of like there's just nothing interesting going on, and then that pops up and brings a lot of people back. I think it's probably the same with AEW. It's probably bringing all those people back right now. I don't know necessarily if it's like tapping into new people's minds, bringing in new fans, but I like to think that it's definitely like shifting a lot of people. So, I know I'm still trying to process it too. It's honestly just, It's crazy. Like there's no other way really to describe it but crazy. And trying to like analyze this. And I know Adam Cole's I loved Adam Cole's reaction. You had Booker T. Booker T's eyes blew up, and he was like, because of course there's been the comments made by him on his podcast about Punk. I don't think they're anything too serious. I think it's just wrestling being wrestling. It's the same with whenever AEW you have Jericho comment back. Um, I don't think there's ever like pure like hatred or anger or resentment there. Um, Paige was just like, why? Like, what's you guys messing with me? Joe was kind of silent and like he everybody had a reaction for everybody basically on the internet. You had Booker T where it was like, oh shoot. You had Samoa Joe where he's silent and just jaw dropped and could not say anything. Renee Young who's bowing down, just like the the king of the counterculture had returned. You had Adam Cole just jamming along, having a great time, just doing the guitar stuff like Kyle O'Reilly, and and then Paige, who's like, "You guys are messing with us," because we've seen before. Cult of personality hits, and now comes Paul Heyman or Stephanie or somebody. They're messing. They're playing at the arenas or something like that. But no, out comes Punk, and he's just like a normal dude. I don't think he even had like a Punk T-shirt on it. I don't know. I think it was just like a little jacket, and he came out, looked at the camera, said, "See you," said what he said, and see you next week. And so now we have to hype it up. There will be essentially this infinite amount of hype for WWE Backstage, whether it's through people like me, articles, everything under the world. I think Punk will probably be the most silent person about this, which is crazy to say that he can be completely silent to say those few words and to just leave, maybe say a couple things to people there, just leave, go home, enjoy his life, and everybody's still talking about, like, everyone's always talking about Punk. I think we can agree on that one. But then you have this just entire like mesmerizing week that everyone will talk about, and I wouldn't doubt it if it's mentioned. Like, you have to be a fool not to mention it on NXT or AEW tonight. I think Impact's recorded. WWE Power recorded. I don't think they mentioned like people like that. I think Impact might mention it. AEW, they've been pretty vocal on mentioning like WWE stuff. So I imagine there's going to be some reference there. NXT and like SmackDown, maybe not a NXT reference, but a SmackDown one. So to say, yeah. I just think it'd be foolish not to mention that. Like, it's such a like it's crazy to think that this is a huge moment in history. Um, never say never. Wrestling world, uh, wacky and wonderful. And thoughts on NXT War Games? I'm looking forward to it. I honestly, when it comes to Wednesday nights, I spend all my time watching AEW live, and then I'll watch NXT taped. I'm not huge, like, the Invasion. When I first started off, I was a fan of it, but then like Monday's what kind of ruined it a little bit for me. I wasn't a fan of how that was handled with Imperium. I think Walter's group could have been done a lot differently, so to say. And I will say that also, with the whole Punk thing, I don't want like another Nexus. I actually don't want that. Um, like, as cool as it would be to have Punk like backing NXT, maybe being like a voice of them, and not necessarily like come in and just take over. I think that's where Finn Balor's done great. Finn Balor's in a historic, like bond and connection to them. He's not like John Cena goes down there and just defends the right of NXT. Punk, I would say, has like, I don't know, maybe he's got the cultural bond of it, but I wouldn't want him to go and like completely take it over. Um, so with that being said, yeah, the invasion NXT and the firing back of the brands. I think it'd be pretty cool. I would love to see like a WWE invasion, more of just like the OC, and really see how things kind of kick off. Especially like for NXT's pay per view, I think that'd be something really useful there. But maybe it's not to take like all the eyes off of NXT. So War Games will be a lot of fun. War Games is always fun. I think any like gimmicky thing that goes down will be a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm not gonna have a super duper long stream. Probably kind of actually right here, and honestly grab some breakfast. Kind of start my day. It's kind of hard to not now. And yeah, other than that, everybody, yeah, tell me your thoughts down below, and we'll keep you guys up to date on more CM Punk news, and we'll have to just wait and see what happens. So thanks. All right, everybody, peace out. Keep it safe.